Welcome back, everybody. On this episode, I'm gonna put the clutch controls together, put the pressure plate in, and new old stock facings in the clutch, new Newcastle nuts, new pins. The only thing I don't have that's new is the clutch rod. That's not new. The yoke is new. And the clutch handle is not new, or the quadrant, or any of the control handles back there for the sparker. So, yeah, haven't heard of anybody that has those. Still looking for parts for the oil pressure gauge, and the control arms would be nice too, but and a pressure plate is not going to be new. Let's see, what else? I'm putting oil in the transmission. As you can see, I'm putting SAE 140 gear lube in, draining the jug into the transmission. I got one in there, and we'll see if it leaks at all at the bottom, if there's any pinholes or anything. If that one doesn't leak, well, I'll put in another one, and it might take 3 of them, I'm not sure. But yeah, starting that process. So we'll get started on the clutch pulley. I'll get the pressure plate and the springs, and the facing goes in there. See if I can get that all in there without losing the springs and the facing. The good thing about this clutch pressure plate is that you can see in there and see if all the springs are in correctly, and see if you get the facings in there. Looks like everything went in good. So we'll put the castle nuts on. That is an actual reproduction pressure plate. I've heard a story of a new old stock pressure plate that's out there. I have not seen it myself. It's a piece that I can maybe acquire down the road and still put it on. I'm going to back that set screw off a little. That'll be the last adjustment, is to adjust the brake. So we don't need to do that. I've got the rod in there with the yoke. So I think I'll leave that. Let's see. So pulling it clear back, would be engaged. I'm going to have to probably get the handle on it. There it is. Now I'm completely engaged, and then I snug up the nuts so they have kind of the same amount of tension, just kind of snugged up, but with the same tension on them. Kind of work them back and forth to see if get the right tension on them. And then we'll go back and put on the quadrant, and I'm going to put the bolt in from the back side so I can have my spring adjustment on the outside. Gotta have that handle down. And then the clutch handle. Had a new pivot bolt there for it. A guy had contacted me and said he had a new short lever, a new old stock short lever, but I haven't made a connection with him. So we got to adjust the yoke here. Let's see, I think that needs to be probably shortened up a bit, I'm guessing. That's tough to do. I guess I'll put the pin in and see what it actually, where I'm at here. Okay, I think it needs to be shortened just a little bit. Let's see, how am I going to do that? Maybe a couple more turns. That looks pretty good. Now I'll get a couple of wrenches for that. It's got to be bigger than that. It's probably over on the floor over here. Okay, that's good. I think I kind of turned my rod there a little bit. Let's see, how am I going to hold that? Give it one more notch. Pretty close. Okay, looks pretty good. Now we'll adjust the brake in. Okay, pretty good. I don't have a full hole to put my cotter key in there, but maybe as it breaks it in, it'll probably take some more tightening. And so I will wait to put the cotter pins in there. I can put the cotter key in here because once I get the other controls on here, it's going to be tough to get back in here. Oh, can't split that. It's a tough bugger. Try a sharper screwdriver, maybe I can get it in there. Finally. Okay, pretty much does it for the clutch. Now I will start on the controls for the spark and throttle. I'll have to go get a few pieces. Okay, the next thing I want to do is stick the control rods in through the quadrant cast hole. And you want the short one on the outside. The tube they go into, that's a used piece. Okay. And then we want to put on the magneto. And I got the engine turned to the mark over there on the flywheel, to the housing mark. And then the book says to turn the mag to the front wire connector, so upper right. And then I've got a new coupler. It says it's a D505R. And I put a little bit of sealer in those holes, but you gotta get that pipe in there. So I'm basically to the upper right, and I can adjust that on that disc right there to get it perfect when I get everything bolted down, lined up and bolted down. And then I gotta see if I can get my connector on the spark underneath there. I think I might have to do something different there. I might have to put that on before I bolt down the mag. Let's see how much room do I have. Got to put the little jam nut on there first. Then we got a new connector, the short one, that doesn't have extra holes in it. I think that's the one I need to get. Yeah, I think that'll be plenty long. Oh, that's too big. So that won't work. I'll have to go find another one. Okay, I found this little 1/4 inch piece of pipe, and now I'm gonna bend that up. The bad thing about that rod is to get it out of the tube, you got to straighten it out. So then when you get it put back in, you got to bend it. And then it's got to go. So it's got to be bent up. So that goes into that, which I think I'm kind of close. That connector there is what starts me on my new old stock pieces. That starts with the new, and this piece is new. So we have to get this piece here has got to go up against there. I think I'm probably too far in. I got that wire out so my plunger doesn't go inside the case and get lost. I think that's probably pretty close. I got my handle clear back and the levers clear against the plunger with the hole mostly to the outside. So when I put my rod into the carburetor, it'll push that plunger clear back and that'll be an idling. So I think I'm pretty close. So I think I'm going to tighten everything down. Still got my coupling loose right there. Still pretty close to being timed. Levers are good shape. All I have to do is put in a cotter pin and some cotter pins on the back. I'll have the control rods and clutch all hooked up. And the next thing would be to time the mag and get the spark plug wires on it. And let's see, and then put on the carburetor and get all the linkages to it hooked up. So I think I'm going to leave that till the next episode. So we'll keep watching. One of these days, I'm going to get it running. So don't lose hope, and we'll see you down the road.